8:14, everybody. A dangerous morning commute across parts of our area because of the snow and the ice that we're seeing across the area.
A code blue advisory was in effect for the city all night. Emergency Management Commissioner Zach Iscole is back with us this morning to discuss the city's weather response. So good morning to you.
Good morning. It's great to be with you guys again.
So how are things shaping up this morning? How are the conditions?
It's looking good. You know, the city did a lot to prepare for this. We had the sanitation crews out yesterday brining the roads. Still some icy, slushy conditions on sidewalks, so we are encouraging building owners, business owners to get that salt down to help reduce those conditions. But looking pretty good around the city. No major delays or concerns with traffic. We're still encouraging people to take public transportation, as always, for these types of weather events. And shortly, we will start shifting focus to looking for the weather coming in this weekend and possibly even another storm next week.
Yeah, I mean, we're keeping a close eye on both those storms as well. They sound right now that they could have significant totals. But for today, right, the timing of it all, the morning commute, the start time of school, icy conditions, no one wants to mess around with ice, right? Was it ever a consideration to maybe delay schools or something like that? How did that decision go into?
Yeah, so, I mean, we work very, very closely with the National Weather Service days in advance. I mean, even in blue skies, we're talking to the National Weather Service 1-2 times a day and forecasting and looking at what the worst case scenarios are. I think, you know, looking at this forecast, we knew it was quickly going to turn to rain. We knew that there might be brief periods of icy rain, but we also know that if we get the brine down, we have salt. If we happen to reach the reasonable worst case scenario of 2 inches of snow, we can get plows out there and do that work. So not something for this particular weather event that we were overly concerned with, but we still knew we were prepared with. We had building custodians for our schools out there this morning, salting in front of the schools, getting the boilers working to make sure the buildings were warm, making sure buses were pre-staged. So a lot of work by our partners at Department of Education as well going into today.
I mean, you talk about icy conditions, but it also poses problems for the power lines. Were there any issues, power outages?
Nothing, no significant power outages around the city. There's always small little pockets around the city, and as big a city as New York, but nothing significant. But again, we work very closely with our utility partners if they need to bring in additional crews for different types of weather events. But looking at the winds today, not something that we're overly concerned about.
So what are the preps looking like for the weekend then?
So we're monitoring the forecast. We'll be doing our interagency call this afternoon with our utility partners, our interagency partners, the National Weather Service, looking at that forecast, whether or not we get sort of 2 to 4 inches and we're going to get plows out there, whether it's less, remains to be seen as the forecast develops.
When do you actually switch into emergency mode? Like, what is it going to take? Not that I want it.
So we joke, in New York City, we've got, New York City's finest, the bravest, the strongest, you've got the toughest. For us, we're the most nervous at emergency management. So our job is, we are always in emergency mode. We are always sort of thinking about what's the worst case scenario, what do we need to prepare for. So we're constantly watching everything that is going on with concern and with our eye for what we can do to mitigate those impacts, keep New Yorkers informed, and making sure that we're responding and keeping people safe.
Very good. I know we had you here to talk about weather. Can we go off topic for a moment? Am I allowed?
I'm not going to stop you. I mean, I've never been able to stop you. Why are we stopping now?
Going to do it anyway. Just a question, because you oversaw a lot of the migrant issues and the migrant crisis, and the numbers are dropping, right? So I'm just looking at what exactly the numbers look like, because the mayor went up to Albany, said I need $1.1 billion. That number was kind of balked at by a number of Albany lawmakers. Just curious what the number is and kind of where that number comes from.
Yeah. So, we have now cared for over 230,000 people that have come through the city. I think the number now is about 180,000, 190,000 of them we've gotten to take the next step on their own. And there was some really great work that was done a year ago to renegotiate the stipulation around the right to shelter. A lot of folks don't understand what was sort of the cause of the migrant crisis here in New York City. They think it has to do with our sanctuary city laws. It's actually more about our right to shelter. In New York City, everybody has a right to shelter. Prior to this, in June of 22, our shelter system was about 50,000 people. We had at the height of it, about 75,000 migrants and asylum seekers enter the system that by law we needed to provide shelter for.
But now?
That number is now under 50,000. I think we've now gone on 23, 24 weeks with a net reduction in the census. And a lot of that is because of the great work being done by the city, our nonprofit partners, to get people their work authorizations, get people their asylum seeker paperwork taken care of so that they can take the next step, get a job, and get out on their own. And so we're seeing that reduction. We've been seeing that reduction over 23, 24 weeks.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for playing ball with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Always happy to.
I know you'll be busy when the big guys are playing ball this Sunday, so we appreciate that.
I'm not happy about it. I am not a conspiracy theorist, but watching that Bills game, I am now 100% a conspiracy theorist.
Why? Because the weather?
Because of the calls.
Oh,
I mean, Josh Allen definitely got that fourth down. That was not a catch. I could go on
Listen,
and on and on.
I'm with you.
But
I'm wearing the team colors of the team I want to win, so I'm just
Josh Allen is an
you didn't want to
American
go off
treasure.
topic. Now we're talking sports.
And that game was poorly called,
No,
and it should be a Bills-Eagles Super Bowl game.
That's what I was hoping
concur.
for.
Yeah.
Great to have you here, Commissioner.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Glad we could cover the real stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, it's always good to see you guys.
All right, 8:19.